Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Jungle Cruise. It's a movie starring Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt, you might remember as the Full Metal Bitch, slash the Angel of Verdun, slash the chick who couldn't say anything because she had to be quiet in 2 movies. So, as always, I'm going to give it the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off with the furry, there's quite a lot of scaly in this movie. There's a surprising number of snakes. And then there is like a brief scene with one of the larger jungle cats. So that's pretty fun. But yeah, that's kind of the main bits of furry slash scaly that you'll see in this movie. So, this movie stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt, and he stars as a boat captain, and she stars as she's a female in the early 1900s, so trying to get into academia or get funding for a grant or something for a trip to the jungle to find this treasure that can bring about, that can find this flower that will heal everything and everyone in the world. She, of course, gets laughed out of existence from all of the academic fields. And that's kind of the premise of their movie. I will say, I had a really, really fun time. I love pretty much everything Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in, and you know what? I'm starting to feel that same way about Emily Blunt. She is in some excellent movies, and she just brings it every single time, and I love it. They put Dwayne Johnson in this hat. I don't know if it's because this movie, I think, is based off of a ride or something in Disneyland, Disney World, and maybe that's what the boat captain's wearing that, or maybe he just was like, no, I'm going to rock this. This is going to be great. It's going to be like my fanny pack from back in the day. But I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think I really care for it as much, but I will say it definitely changes how he looks a lot. Like, a couple of times when the hat comes off, you're like, oh yeah, no, he looks more like the Dwayne Johnson we know rather than skipper captain in this movie. So I can understand why they put him in the hat. There was a couple of times where the CG kind of was like, I don't know about that. But for the most part, it was really good, and I didn't find the movie or the music at all distracting, but I wouldn't call it any of it necessarily memorable. But again, Dwayne Johnson is in this movie, and he is fantastic. And I love the number of puns they had in this movie. I just love them so much. It was excellent. I was cracking up the whole time with this movie. I don't quite understand why this movie was rated PG-13. I feel like given the humor that was involved and the level of danger that was involved for a lot of it, that this movie probably could have been rated PG. Like, I don't even think they used their F word in this movie. So I think this movie should have been rated PG, but I had an absolutely fantastic time. And I think you will too. I think if you have the chance, you should watch it on the big screen, because some of the sequences were, I think, much more enjoyable because of just the scale that a larger screen will give you. So if you have a chance, go watch it on the big screen. You're going to have a good time. In terms of negatives, a little bit of the plot was predictable, but I feel like with this type of movie, like, that's to be expected, and they just kind of, like, they lean into it a bit in a good way. So, like, I wasn't bored knowing a couple of the steps that were going to happen in this type of movie. I was entertained the whole time, and I think that they had the right mix of humor while not making it too different from the universe that they were building to have, like, a certain amount of tension. So, excellent job with this movie. You should definitely watch it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one.